How you doing?
AJ, good to see you.
Brian Schmidt, nice to meet you.
So you're Mr. Schmidt. AJ is not here.
Pardon me?
Wagner?
Yeah, he's right there.
He's watching from the sidelines. So Mr. Schmidt's going to take the call tonight. Gotcha. I thought maybe AJ was going to be in.
AJ?
Oh, DJ.
DJ. Yeah, DJ's right there.
DJ's there. You're here. Okay.
Yeah.
So I meet Mr. Schmidt for the first time. Didn't know him. Mr. Schmidt, tell us about your role with the team.
Well, I was the defensive coordinator last year. We won a championship. And this year I'm the vice president of the team.
So you moved up, done pretty well with this team so far.
Well, you know, I tried to.
Talk about the last game you guys played, the championship game. Kind of give us your lowdown on that championship game and the scoring in the game, the flow of the game, and the outcome was not what you guys wanted. But talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, it wasn't what we wanted, but I mean, it was one of the great championship games. When you look at it from a fan perspective, it was a great game. It was great for the league. Unfortunately for us, it was not what we wanted. We played. You know, we had a lead. We lost it in the last couple minutes. You know, the ending, unfortunately, if we could do it wrong in the last couple minutes, we did it wrong, and that's unfortunately what happened. But at the end of the day, you know, I can say this, now being able to step away from that game for a few days. There are not many teams that can say in 2 years of their existence they've won a championship and they've played in a championship game in 2 years. So we've come a long way in a short time, and I'm excited to see what we continue to do, because obviously we have a bad taste in our mouth, and next year we definitely want that championship.
Did you have a bad taste in your mouth going to the championship game because of what happened up in New York? Is that still playing in the mind any at all?
Yeah, it didn't really play in the mind in the championship game. I think it just added to, we were already having a bit of a chip on our shoulder anyway. That whole New York debacle was something that I hope no team ever has to go through again. That was ugly, and in every step, every phase, it was ugly.
You got robbed not once, but twice, maybe 2 or 3 times you got robbed up there.
Yeah, I mean, not only did we get, you know, our players got robbed, coaches got robbed. We got robbed of a victory, and we got robbed of our head coach for a game for, you know, being suspended for trying to do the right thing for everybody involved when nobody wanted to make a decision. So it was definitely a robbery in a lot of ways.
And the outcome, the bad outcome was you lost the game when Coach Back and Coach, he was out. You guys dropped that game, right?
Yeah, it's the last game of the season. We lost it on the road. Fortunately for us, you know, he was back for the playoffs.
Yeah.
So that was a good thing.
And Jacksonville, what is it about your team in Jacksonville, the way you guys matched up this year? Jacksonville had the edge. What made them such a tough team this year as opposed to last year? You guys were moving a little bit quicker. What made Jacksonville the team that kind of was the roadblock this year, the obstacle?
Yeah, you know, a lot of it with Jacksonville is their defensive line was really good. Our offensive line, especially when we lost Joe Harris to an injury, we struggled on the offensive line. But it was just, you know, sometimes every year there's always that one team that just seems like they can luck into a victory. And Jacksonville was it, the championship game. We had a game earlier in the season where we were up 2 scores again, and then we had issues, and then things just kind of fell apart. And it was just that team for us this year, and you know, give them a lot of credit. They played really well, and they did things when they needed to win football games. But you know, we'll have Jacksonville circled on the schedule.
I'm sure you guys are preparing with them already now. Get ready for them next year.
Oh yeah.
What about the crowd? The crowd, I saw some of the video film. The crowd looked like it was pretty active down there. Had a good turnout for that game at their place.
Yeah, they had about 9,000 for the championship game. It was a great crowd, and the great thing is we probably had about 150 Cobra fans that came down.
They came on the bus trip?
They went down on the bus trip, and some of them traveled down on their own. So we had about 150 people there over in our little corner. So it was kind of a college football atmosphere.
Yeah.
You just had that, you know, you go to these college games, and me being an Ohio State fan from Ohio, you know, you have 100,000 people in a horseshoe, and then you've got that little section of about 500 fans that are just really loud and active. And so our fans were really loud and active the whole game. It was a great atmosphere.
Talk about on your offensive side of the ball. And Jordan Jolly, he was an NAL MVP plus the Offensive Player of the Year. How does the receiver win that award of the quarterback? That's what I was curious about there, because the quarterback stood out McCollum, but the receiver, he gets the accolades, and he deserved those, I'm sure. But what kind of year did he have? You're watching from the defensive standpoint. You know what he did, seeing the entire game during the game. What was his year like? How did he earn those awards this year?
Jordan is not only a great receiver, but Jordan was also our backup quarterback. So the one game we didn't have McCollum, he played quarterback and won.
Yeah.
He's also our holder on extra points. He also plays on special teams. So I think what got him that award was, first of all, he's the best receiver in the league. Mm-hmm. But teams were seeing, here's this guy that can come in and play backup quarterback and win games. He holds on extra points. He does all these little things. He won that award because not just being a great receiver, but he's a great football player because he's done everything. I mean, name a receiver in the league, and
Swiss Army knife kind of guy, huh? Does it all. Swiss Army knife.
Yeah. Name a guy that in our league that has done all that at a high level. And he did.
How are you guys so fortunate? I won't say lucky, but so fortunate to find players like him, McCollum, and the guys you pulled in to build this team, build this unit. How'd you find them?
A lot of guys like Jordan Jolly, Charles McCollum, Walt Thomas, Mike Green, they've been with us for years. So we were in Texas. They were there in Texas. Jolly and Walt and Charles McCollum, they were all with Billy when Billy was in Nashville. So they've gone from Nashville to Texas to here. So they've been with Billy, and I was within Texas with Billy, so they've been with us for a lot of years. And so you have those core guys, and now you bring in, and honestly, the best head coach in the NAL and the best head coach.
People hear about you; they come looking for you sometimes. People
Absolutely.
Come looking for you. What are you looking for them?
And Billy Back is by far the best arena football coach in America, by far. When it comes to on the field, recruiting, and everything that he does, he is by far the best head coach in this, and who wouldn't want to play for that guy?
You got the core unit, the core four. You mentioned those four players, and you build around them, and it just all comes together for you.
Yeah, and we've had, Cedric Poole has been with us since we've been here in Carolina. So many of these guys, Pasquale, he came in a trade. He came to us last year, and he's been here this year. So once you come to, very rarely do we have guys that don't want to keep playing for us.
You don't have problems getting these guys to be repeaters. They come back and they stick with you.
No, and we work very hard to move these guys up. So when guys get a chance to move up, if it doesn't happen for them, then they want to come back here because we work hard to move up. Like I said, Billy Back is the best head coach in this thing because he puts his players first and does the things to give them an opportunity to have success in the NFL, CFL, AFL, whatever.
Tell me what you saw in our local guy, James Summers, this year. You remember James, receiver?
Absolutely.
Tell me what you saw in James.
James is a guy that in training camp, learning the arena game, he struggled at times, but then he just kept getting better and better. He's one of the hardest working guys. And then, what a lot of people don't realize is about 4 or 5 games in, he got an opportunity to go and was signed by the Cleveland Browns.
Right. Yeah. Who's again?
Cleveland Browns.
Browns, okay, yeah.
And then when he released there, he came immediately back here. James Summers is a guy that is a great football player, but he's also a great community guy, and he's a guy that I think you're going to see and have an opportunity in NFL one day. NFL, I think he is an outstanding player.
Do you have any other guys that look to be getting that same opportunity? NFL looks?
Yeah, I mean we look. We've got obviously. Pittman and Miller, 2 of our defensive linemen, I think are outstanding guys that deserve an opportunity to move up. Mike Green. I mean, although I don't know if Mike Green will ever go because Mike Green likes being here and stuff, but Mike Green deserves an opportunity. Charles McCollum deserves an opportunity. And a lot of these guys deserve that opportunity. But it's a numbers game.
Yeah.
And that's the reality of it.
And you got to get somebody's attention up there too in a good way. You can't make mistakes. You go for those tryouts. You got to be almost near perfect because the other guys are already in front of you to begin with. You got to go with some kind of edge to slip in there. I'm sure.
We tell our guys you have to be the best player in our league to get that possibility of getting that look. So if you're one of the best players between your film and everything else, now you may get that opportunity. But against a numbers game, because there's 500 other guys out there that are doing the same thing.
Here's a key question for you. How was this season in some ways better than last season? Even though you won the title last year, came in second this year, how were some things better in 2019?
I'll be
I
honest.
always want to get better.
Yeah, I mean, we always do. I think that, our attendance was better, people knowing who we are. What a lot of people don't understand is our first year, we only had 72 days from the day we were announced to our first game to put this thing together. When me and Billy first walked into that office, there was nothing but a folding chair and a folding table. We had nothing else. So to build in 72 days to win a championship was awesome. But then this year, we, with our TV deal and everything we did, we got more name recognition. I can now walk into places and people go, oh, hey, you're with the Cobras. Whereas opposed to after last year, I could walk in and go, hey, I've never heard of you.
Yeah.
And then, on the field, our defensive coordinator this year, Josh Rosignolo.
Coach Rez, huh? Yeah, from way back.
Coach
Rez.
And Coach Rez and I have known each other. And so when I took over vice president, he took over as defensive coordinator. And one of the things that I wanted for our defense this year was a relentless defensive line. We got that. So Rez took all of our pieces and had a defense. We had shutouts this year. I mean, 3 shutouts.
That's almost unheard of.
In arena football, that doesn't happen. And again, when we talk about our staff and our people, Rez is a guy that deserves a head coaching job. Billy is one of the best head coaches. We've got great people here that are building this thing to be the premier professional team in Greensboro.
Well, you talk about your Coach Smith with the defense. You talk about Coach Rez with the defense. You talk about Billy Back, head coach. You got DJ Wagner over there with the media and relations. Introduce us to some more of the staff of this team. Who else runs this team?
Well, we have
the inner workings, inner core workings.
Brandon Robinson is our director of sales, ticket sales. Awesome guy. So if you want season tickets, call our office, Dr. Brandon. He's going to get you hooked up. We've got Cassidy Webb, who is our director of game day operations. So everything that's going on game days, all the games and excitement, that stuff is going on. She is that person. Awesome. She was an intern for us last year in her first year, and then when the opening came for this, she moved into that. Our owners, Rob Storm, Richard Mazzella, great guys. Best owners in sports as far as I'm concerned. These guys just are incredible in every single way, what they do. I mean, how many owners do you know when your players get robbed, the players walked out of that locker room, everybody that had money stolen, our owner sat there with cash in hand, hey, how much did you get stolen? $50?
Owners paid them back.
Yes.
Wow.
How many owners do that?
And that was at the site.
When they got on the bus in New York after everything that had happened, the one thing they could say is, yeah, I may have had jewelry stolen and all this stuff, but my cash that got stolen was my owner covered you.
Wow.
How many teams can say? That's something that
for a lot of your teams, you're looking at the owner at the game to begin with on a road game like that.
So we have so many great people here, and we're building something special here.
What's that fan support been like as it's been built in the past couple of years, fan support? You talked about it a little bit earlier when people went down to Jacksonville to watch it, overall fan support, because it's hard to build that sometimes. Name recognition, team recognition, that's the toughest thing of all to build.
It really is, and we've continued to steady build. Our attendance continued to grow this year. But what I love about our fans is our fans are so passionate about what we do every game. They just love everything that we do. They follow us. And also for our partners, businesses, food places, different places to partner with us, our fans see, hey, if they're feeding our guys and doing things with the Cobras, we're going to go support them. So they have been really great with supporting local businesses as well. So, we've got, I feel like, the best fan base. It may not be as big as Jacksonville yet, but when it comes to the passion and the following us, I mean, again, how many fan bases start a GoFundMe account to pay for the head coach's fine? Which we did.
Too, yeah.
So we've really built a great fan base, and it's continuing to build.
Tell us about that snake pit at the Coliseum. What's that like, the snake pit?
Snake pit is a great little place to go. It's right down on the field, close to the field. depending upon what you do. I mean, you're gonna get footballs thrown at you. You're gonna get players jumping in. It's a great atmosphere, and so it's kind of like arena football. If you've never been there, it's kind of like football and hockey all rolled into one because everything is right there. As opposed to if you go to an NFL game or a college game, you may end up feeling like you're miles away. But in arena football, everything is right there, and everything is so fast-paced. So
fast-paced is a key right there, right?
Yeah, huge key. And I know myself, the NFL and college football are going to be starting soon, and I know myself, it takes me about 2 or 3 weeks to adjust.
I bet so. Different game, different approach.
By about halftime, I start getting bored. And so it takes me about 2 or 3 weeks to adjust. So.
What is it like on the kickoff? Describe that for us. Because in the kickoff, you can actually score on defense with a kickoff.
Yeah, when you kick off, you kick it through the uprights, you get 2 points. And that is a game changer. We all know this as fans. Last year, our first year, Craig Peterson, he averaged about 4 deuces a game. That's 8 points. So that's a touchdown plus another 2 points.
8 points a game for the kicker.
Yeah, and so that's just on deuces. That's not counting field goals and extra points. So there were games where Craig accounted for 14 to 16 points. That's huge.
You start to look at the stats and the numbers. That really stands out. You see those numbers there.
It really does. And what it does is it gives you an opportunity to always build. One thing we always talked about last year is, okay, our offense comes out and scores a touchdown. We get a deuce, so now we get the extra point and a deuce. It's 9-0. I get a stop on defense. We get another touchdown. Now it's 18-0 in 2 possessions, and now they're chasing. So that's why the deuce is so important.
Yeah, it's also key too, because if you do not have success on the extra point attempt, you can make up for it on the kickoff, right?
Yes.
Get it back.
And you can conceivably, if you're down, let's say 10 points with 30 seconds left, you can conceivably tie the game and go to overtime. Touchdown, 2-point conversion, and then the deuce on the kickoff. There's your 10 points. You're going over.
Game changes within seconds.
Absolutely. You can go from 10 points up to tied. And I'll give you a great example. In our first year, we played Massachusetts. We were down 22 points. We went from down 22 to up 1 in a matter of 4 minutes because we got a score, a deuce, a defensive score, another deuce, and it just snowballed, and we won that game after being down 22 in the fourth quarter.
Down 22 points. You'll see that. I mean, in the NFL, you might see something like that once every 50 years. In your league, you might see it once a week.
You can. I mean, it's very possible. And I know this year, we've had a couple. Even a championship game, we were up 13 points
you guys had the lead late.
Yeah,
at least 12 or 13 points.
We went from up 13 to down 4 in a matter of a minute.
And that's what I hate about it, because I was at a baseball game here locally doing some baseball work that night, and I'm watching all the highlights on the local sports, and sometimes you don't see enough highlights. You want to see more, but you see the highlights at night, and all you see is that last part of the game when you guys got beat. That was kind of disappointing in some ways,
And it was a penalty, and everybody says, oh, it was a penalty. Yeah, it was. But if we were doing what we should have done, we should have never put ourselves in that situation to have that play be the outcome.
Yeah, would have been over.
Yeah.
Now, I remember the game, they had the Greensboro Prowlers here back around 2000. Then later on had the Greensboro Revolution. Now you've got the Carolina Cobras. How much has the game changed over the years? Because even the Arena Football League, the football game has changed over the years.
It really has. It's the evolution of a lot of the offense. Billy Back is a great offensive mind. The rules have slightly changed enough to benefit the offense a little bit more. So to be able to have a great defense, you've got to really do some different things. You're so limited on what you can do. But we've done a great job. As the game has changed, I think it's made it more exciting for the fans, and that to me is the key. Like the deuce in our league, I think is a rule that makes it exciting because now the kickoff isn't just a play; it's a chance to score, it's a chance to do something. So. Little rule changes like that, it makes the game more exciting.
It's all been around the offense pretty much, right?
Yeah, arena football is an offensive game. That's why you see the 60 to 55.
When I watch the Carolina Panthers on Sundays, I enjoy watching the offense. That's why I watch the game. The defense is a good group of young men playing hard to keep the other team off the field, but you want to get the offense back out. It's all about the offense.
It is.
I mean, the defense wins the games in the grand scheme of things, and the final score difference, but again, the offense is where the excitement is.
Defense wins wins championships, but the offense is what sells the tickets.
Sells the tickets. That's what, believe it or not, you're in business. DJ Wagner's in business. Coach Backus in business. Russ is in business.
Yeah.
All you guys, only football coaches, you guys have to be businessmen too. Because in an operation like yours, everybody has to wear, you wear an orange cap with the Hurricanes backwards. You turn around, you wear the cap forwards. You're now selling tickets. You're now selling sponsorships. Everyone wears all those different caps.
And that's it. It's like, I was actually, when I was coming over here, it was like, oh shoot, I still have my Hurricane because I've been doing some different stuff today, and I was laughing because I was like, normally I've got like Cobra hat on and all this stuff, but it really is. It's about selling tickets, about selling merchandise. Like our great, we've got all kind of great Cobra T-shirts. It's about selling everything.
It's tough though, even though you're doing this and it's going well, it's still tough to get established in the market. Name of the game.
And I've been doing this professionally for 12 years, and I've been coaching it on the front side, business side. And I always say it's 3 years to get yourself established. Anybody that comes in this thinks you're going to come in first year and everybody's just going to throw money and babies at you. It doesn't work that way. You can have that excitement in the first year, but you still have so many things you got to do in the first year that are going to cost money. Second year costs money. Greensboro was a market that with the Prowlers and stuff that I still, even last year, we kind of got burned by them. So now you've got to win people over to go, well, hey, we're not them.
Yeah.
And you've got to prove yourself. So it's a 3-year endeavor.
In the grand scheme of things, long term, is Greensboro a better market than Charlotte for this, better market than Raleigh?
I think Greensboro is great. Of all the markets I've been in and everything that I've seen, I think Greensboro is absolutely the best market because the fan base is passionate. The fan base wants to support a winner. And look, let's be honest.
Town, you can sell some seats right quick.
Yeah, and let's be honest. We've been here 2 years. We've won a championship and played a championship game. If you want to follow a winner and have something that's fun, here's the team to latch onto because you're going to get up and personal with our players. You're going to see them all around town.
And there's a certain fan base that enjoys other summertime and springtime sports, but there's a certain fan base, they love football year-round, and they're just strictly football fans. They're not going to watch other sports. It's just in their nature.
And the one thing that we're seeing is even spring and summer sports that are fans of other sports are saying, well, hey, we can go to that Monday, Friday, and Sunday, but you know what, on a Saturday, a home game for the Cobras, let's go to that because it's something different. It's not, we're not playing 72 home games. We're playing 7 home games. It's an event. Coming to our football games is more than just a football game. It's an event. We always have theme nights going on. We always have exciting things going on.
Yeah, the theme nights are big all the time, so it's a special night.
So it makes it an event, and that's the one thing is I tell people you're not coming to a football game, you're coming to an event.
Is it better to be in the NAL, the National Arena League, or the CFL if you're trying to get to the NFL? What do you think? Are they too much different?
I think that depending upon the player, if you're in the NAL, you're going to have the opportunity to go to the NFL. But I think for some players, their skill set is not designed for the NFL. So I think it really depends on the player. It depends on the player.
What do you want, right?
Yeah,
some guys, I think there's some guys, they want the Arena Football League. They're not really looking that much at the NFL. They want to play arena ball.
They know
and they realize their game is better suited for the Arena League.
Well, yeah, I know a lot of these guys, look, you get to a point where I'm probably not ever going to play in the NFL. You're talking less than 1% of people are going to play in the NFL. But that doesn't mean you can't go to the CFL, AFL, or, Charles McCollum has been playing, arena and indoor for, over 10 years. He's not going anywhere, Now, he gets an AFL chance, whatever, that's great. But he loves the game so much, he's going to play. He's not worried about the NFL. He's not worried about the CFL. He loves arena football, and that's why he plays.
Well, Coach Smith, I appreciate your time tonight.
Appreciate it. Thank you very much for having me.
You did the 48 show with Coach back, didn't you?
Yes, we do a coach's show that aired every Saturday at 12:30, and we're looking to be doing more of that next year.
Certainly. And didn't you have a radio show for a while over in Winston, maybe a little while?
Yeah, we did on Sunday mornings. We did a show there. We had a little Cobra segment that was on 11 o'clock and stuff. So that was great for the
That was like a recap show the night before.
Yeah, and I would sometimes go up. Billy or I would call in, and then sometimes I'd go up and be part of the panel for the whole show and get to talk about other sports. So it was a lot of fun.
You've done a good job building this team. It's good to have you in tonight. We didn't get to meet you guys earlier. Wish we could, but now it's good to have you on board.
Well, I appreciate it. Well, thank you very much.
You're welcome. Tell Mr. Wagner to keep up the good work, too, over there.
Absolutely. Thanks, sir.
You got it. And if you will, give Mr. Wagner, keep yourself a couple of cards here. Here you go. Here's those cards. In case you need those business cards, there you go.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, excellent job. He did it.